Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of the Big Rings Weight Handicap KOM on Zwift. We're jumping straight into it this week. There's a lot of great racing to see and catch up on this week, so we'll get straight into it. The group's rolled out over the start line and away we go. And Riddell, straight out of the gate, we've seen him before. He's a strong competitor. He has absolutely smashed it out of the gates. He's put on 4 seconds, 3 seconds to the next rider. He's really looking to prove a point early here. We'll come back to that and call out the riders. In no order, this week we have Carey visiting again. He's a previous winner. Wetzenberg from the Netherlands, a Dutch rider joining us for the first time, so welcome to Wetzenberg. Phillips, Davies the Bumblebee, Riddell, who we've already seen launch a stinging attack early, Juice, Plummer, 7 from 7 attendances at the TBR Handicap. We're going to call him this week the Adam Hansen of TBR, just turning up consistently and doing well. Also Rowney, North, Ross, Saunders, McBrien, Fantana, the rider formerly known as Connaughton. He's actually changed his name, so I'm not sure what's going on there. He wants to be called Fantana from now on. Racing under the Irish flag, although an Australian, as we've covered before. HW, a new rider, joining us from Hong Kong. Welcome, HW, who looks to be starting out quite well early on. And rider Sutcliffe, who we're not sure if he's part of the event or just joining accidentally, as the suffix Pro 4, which is the performance ride in his name. So we'll catch up and see his progress. If anyone knows Sutcliffe, give him a shout out and see if he'd like to come and sign up properly for next week. So as we join the action, it's actually McBrien off the front. He's caught Riddell. Riddell's early attack came to nothing, and the group has been formed at the front. This is now Rowney coming mid-pack, coming up to Davies and Phillips. Back to Saunders, who has a little gap back to Fantana. He's changed his name, but he hasn't changed his form so far, still bringing up the rear of the field. As we work our way through to the front, this is absolutely amazing camera work here from the host broadcaster. We're looking at Saunders as he comes up and just passes Rowney, and he's with Juice, so 3 riders very close together there, with North just a touch ahead as we join McBrien. Now this is really the front of the race, is going to be where most of the interest is this week. We're following McBrien, and with him is Carey, Riddell, Sutcliffe and HW, the debutant, as McBrien just moves forward. This is a good performance from him so far. As Carey now moves forward, a lot of surging early on. Back with Riddell, we've seen him absolutely monstrous performance in the last week's flat handicap course. Moving back through to Deuce. Wetzenberg, I'm just not sure about him. He's surging and fading. High cadence, no heart rate monitor, so a bit hard to get a read on him, but he moves very swiftly past Riddell on Sutcliffe's wheel. This is Sutcliffe in the white and black shirt again. We're just not too sure if he's intentionally in the TBR event or just here having a ride. With North now, who's with Plummer. Davies the Bumblebee towards the back as Rowney moves up to Davies and Ross just in front of him. A little way back to Phillips. And the newly named Fantana looking to move up on terms with Phillips. A 5-second gap, but he's moving up. This is McBrien with Wetzenberg. And look at these positions, jockey. That's Carey moving ahead to Sutcliffe, HW, getting plenty of fluids in. So race leader to HW, to Carey, Sutcliffe, McBrien. And this is Juice now joining the lead group. And Juice moving ahead very quickly. McBrien looking to go with him. HW, Juice, McBrien, Carey, Sutcliffe, a small gap to Wetzenberg. Back down, this is an intriguing duel. This is Davies and Rowney on terms, with Fantana moving up, and Fantana has moved past Phillips. Phillips now bringing up the rear of the field. At the head of affairs, this is HW now, who's had a little bit of a fade. Wetzenberg has moved to the head of the race by quite some margin. He's opened up a 14-second gap to Carey, then Juice, Sutcliffe, McBrien and HW falling back. But now he ignites again and goes past Juice like he's standing still and sets out for Carey. 2.9 watts per kilogram HW. He's higher than Zed Carey. He looks like he's going to come and latch onto Carey's back wheel here. I'm not sure what happened to HW there. He just flagged in power and momentarily came back. 4 people moved ahead of him and he's corrected things almost immediately. And this is him coming up on the wheel of Carey now. And Wetzenberg has dropped down to 2.3 watts per kilogram. He only has a 5-second lead now over this pair, Carey and HW. Some intriguing racing this week. This is Anthony Plummer, should I say Adam Hansen, just coming up on Saunders. They're mid-pack. This is Fantana. We can see up ahead Davies and a 1-second gap from Davies to Fantana's intriguing racing. Fantana just sticking to his method. Very high heart rate and very high cadence, as is his way. This is Rowney has moved ahead of Davies by 6 seconds, and we're with Ross now, who can just see north. This is north. This is Plummer with Saunders in view. Back now to the front. Look at this, the bunching of these riders. We're with McBrien, but Juice just in front of him. Then Sutcliffe, Carey, Wetzenberg and HW. You can see them all under this roofed area. McBrien, after looking competitive early, just looks to possibly be fading, although he comes back at Juice. This is the head of the race now, with HW moving to the front again to Wetzenberg, a second back to Carey and Sutcliffe. There's been some fantastic jockeying for position at the head of the race today. People putting in really big, strong efforts and then perhaps having to ease off. Counter-attacks coming thick and fast. But this leading trio or possibly quartet looks to be well established. So it's HW, Wetzenberg, Carey and Sutcliffe with 11 seconds back to Juice, who's doing his best performance of this race series by a long way. Through the rollers now, and this is Carey sticking with HW, and they've just managed to prise open a little gap to Sutcliffe, and Wetzenberg has fallen by the wayside, probably 8 seconds back. He'll have to watch out for Juice. And as I say that, Wetzenberg puts on the afterburners. He's at 4.0 watts per kilogram. And he has, in fact, Wetzenberg has taken the lead from HW. This is the lead battle we're watching here. Wetzenberg and HW, as HW out of Hong Kong just moves ahead now. He's finding something else at 3.8 watts per kilogram. And as we close in on the final banner, it's going to be HW. It's his first ride, his first TBR handicap with us. And he's surged back for a fantastic victory. It's going to, in fact, be Juice over the line next. He's finished very strongly, to Carey, previous winner. So it's HW first, Juice second, Carey third, Wetzenberg fourth, with some interval style racing, very unusual. And we see now North a fair gap ahead of Davies, but only 1 second behind Ross, who we see now, with another second forward to Rowney. And Fantana has moved 2 seconds ahead of Rowney. Fantastic changing of position and riding mid-pack. This is McBrien. He crosses. Riddell looks to be next. We haven't seen too much of him. This is Rowney has come on equal terms with Fantana. I can tell you this is mate against mate with this pair. This is Riddell, big numbers, 500 watts as he crosses the line. Possibly, it's not his best week, but a strong performance nonetheless. Saunders next. And it looks like to Adam Hansen coming up next. A little gap, but doing well. Hansen is 10 seconds ahead of the next intriguing battle, which is Rowney, Fantana, and possibly North. This is Rowney. Rowney has come past and beaten Fantana. That is motivated purely by spite. I know this man very well. He gets over the top of Rowney. His heart rate was 190, and this is North getting Fantana on the line. Oh, great effort from North. Fantana will be disappointed as we come back to Ross and Phillips bringing up the tail end of the field. It is cold and lonely back there in the shadows. He's doing it tough this week, is Phillips. Bumblebee, spiritual leader Davies, comes across next. He'll be happy with the racing this week. It's been very close. And Phillips brings up the rear of the field. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video for this week. If you have any comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. If we're mispronouncing your names or you have any general complaint or feedback, let us know.